Supporting myself.
So you get this commission, they call you up, they write you a letter and say, Fred, we love your work. We're building this cultural trail that Amos doesn't like, and we want you, to do something that kind of stands out, that gets attention, that's kind of like the Super Bowl of public art. Was the design E Pluribus Unum the only one you submitted for this project?
Yes.
Okay, so this was, so you like Mad Men. You went in and said, this is my best thing.
Exactly. This is my best effort.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Did you get any pushback from the curatorial committee? Did they say, hey Fred, we kind of like this, but it's a slave thing, and we're not sure, how the community might react about that. Maybe maybe put a shirt on the brother. Get the brother some brogans, shoes. Did you get any pushback from the curator, the committee, or did they simply say, man, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread?
Well, I didn't get any pushback at all.
Okay.
I didn't get, they accepted the commission. I don't know what they were saying, about sliced bread or whether there's going to be problems.
So all you got was the letter saying proceed.
Yes, proceed.
Did you think in your mind, given that this is the Midwest, and some would say culturally Indianapolis is more southern than Midwestern, because we call buses coaches here. Some of us got a little twang. It's red pop, not it's sacks, not bags. Did you think that maybe there would be some backlash, particularly of maybe our generation and those older than us? We're roughly the same age.
Yes.
We're kind of part of the greatest generation in terms of those that helped the civil rights movement. Did you think there would be pushback because you were portraying a slave?
No, I was blindsided by that.
Okay.
I mean, that image had been there for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as you know, at Christmas time, they hang Christmas lights on it,
Yeah.
and that wasn't lost on me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought it was just something that I wanted to unpack for myself, not knowing people's reaction to that particular object. I met with people that I had access to, and I was surprised by that. In fact, if anything, I thought I wanted to talk about what I do and how I do it to the African American community, because I thought if the mainstream media got a hold of this and took a spin on it, maybe there'd be some conservative folks in the city, particularly white folks in the city, that would not be able to would take it from that point of view. And I wanted to, at least for the black community, to understand where I was coming from with it. But I thought that really in the end that what I was doing with the piece would be kind of uplifting and change one's response to the original monument by really keeping it in the past, by creating a new one that reminds you that the other one is there, but is kind of a response to it.
Any reason why, and I've said this publicly in print, and I've said it on this program, any reason why, if it is depicting freedom, the image is not fully erect, standing, holding that flag like Mel Gibson in that doggone movie? Yeah, I'm free! Any reason why you elected not to do it that way? Curious.
Yes, well, because as you stated, I'm interested in things that exist.
Okay.
And subtly changing them so there's no mistake that is referencing the original statue, which is a very particular situation. And by using the same object and removing it from the context that it's in, and adjusting it slightly, for me, it was is a way to reference the original and push it into a different direction. Also, by doing it the way I saw it doing it, it shows how the image of African Americans were constructed after the Civil War, in the difference in how I have displayed the same object.
The location, you did not determine where this piece would be erected on the cultural trail, or did you?
I did.
Okay.
We walked the trail. I looked at all the sites, And there was a number of issues that came up in my mind about where to put it. First, there needed to be a large enough site for it, and there were very few. And I also wanted it to be in some proximity to the original, so that if perhaps, not knowing that people would all of a sudden know about this thing, that if they saw one, they'd see the other and try to think about the relationship between the two and why is one way and why is the other one the other way. And that's kind of what I do with juxtaposition.
And so this would be on the northeast corner of Washington and Delaware. Is that your understanding of it?
Yes.
Okay.
And I looked at, there are other areas where there are monuments,
Right.
like in front of the State House, which is, if that's the right building,
Yes.
where the trail goes by.
Right.
And there was a site for it.
Mhm.
But on that site are many monuments, which are figurative monuments. They're of so-called great people, great men. And mine is a sculpture. It's not a monument. It's not of a specific person. And I felt that my project should be seen as an artwork rather than a monument. And with the notion that this would be a catalyst for asking the question and then following up that with are there no other images of African Americans in monument form, and if they were to be done, they should be done at the State House and other locations.
I don't believe these are your words. This is in the information. The Cultural Trail provided me a sentence, and I'm not even sure they passed this out to the media last night. It said this will be the first public artwork dedicated to the African American community in Indianapolis's downtown public art collection. I don't believe those are your words.
No.
Do you understand when somebody puts a sentence like that together, that all of a sudden that raises the profile of it in our community? And is that where this work ought to be considered? Or should it just be a public artwork in the city?
Yeah, I think that is, while I probably did have that, whatever that piece of information is, and so I can't say that I didn't have it to look at it. I didn't see that. I mean, it's the first time I'm really hearing that.
That was
sentence.
in you doing your thing, creating it. That wasn't in your mind.
No.
Okay.
No, and I don't know who would have written that sentence like that,
right.
because it's not that, that's not how I conceptualize the work.
Okay. 239-1310. 239-1310. It's Afternoons with Amos. Okay, here's what I want to do, because I know everybody, the thousands of people, you all are trying to blow the phone lines out. AT&T is going to yell at me after this hour. I'm going to move through you all quickly, and I mean quickly. I'm going to show the Cultural Trail how you really moderate something today. And so I ask you to be short and to the point. And I'm going to be and if you try to filibuster, I'm going to send you to Congress, not to here. So let's start today with Sheila at 239.